So as you read about in chapter 6, you know that audience analysis is very important for any presentation that you give, right? Because a good speaker is going to be audience focused. So we know that everybody sees the world through their own lens and filters any message they get through their own experiences. So in order to give the best presentation possible, you need to be able to adapt that communication to where it's going to land for your audience. So we learned in chapter 6 about how there are multiple factors to consider when you want to learn about your audience. You want to think about demographics. So how old is your audience generally, right? What's the age range of your audience? Things like religious beliefs, socioeconomic status, education status, race, ethnicity, all of these things are going to be part of what makes up those filters, right? That people are going to get that message through. So those things are really important to note and to consider. So when we move into persuasive speaking, you will actually conduct an audience analysis survey to get to know your audience better. Right now, you're sort of just going to be dealing with the interactions that you've had with your classmates and things like that. You've gotten to know everyone through the introduction speech, so you know some about your audience. The space is another factor to consider, the audience size and space. So you know there are about 30 students in the class, so that's about your size or your size of your audience, but you won't have everyone at once because this is recorded speech. So that may not be as important in an online environment as it would be in a real face-to-face time environment. So for this assignment, when you are talking about audience analysis, what you're going to do is you're going to go to a popular website, right? So go to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, popular sports site that you may like, any kind of website that's fairly popular. And you're going to look and you're going to find an advertisement. Because if there's anything advertisers know, it's audience analysis, right? Because they want to target their audience and try to get them to buy things. And they have to know what people want and how people are going to accept a message in order to do that more effectively. So you're going to find an advertisement. So you can do this a couple different ways. If you want to use your own, then you're probably going to get things targeted specifically to you because you've Googled something, right? So for example, I looked at my Instagram and I found this advertisement for a book of the month club. So I think the reason that is because I have a library card and I look at book of the month club or I Google different things about books, right? But taking that out of consideration, if you look at that ad, you can see the colors. I think that maybe gender and sex is something that they have considered, right? Because I am a female, a lot of times maybe the flower in the background and the thing like that could be something that they would target towards a woman more specifically. So that's something. Age is a factor, possibly because of my demographics and age range. I'm a millennial, and that may be more likely to do some sort of subscription service than someone who is much older or much younger. So that's something to consider as well, right? So those are two factors I can look at looking at that advertisement. So what you're going to do is you're going to find an advertisement. You're going to take a screenshot of it or some way that you can link it into the discussion board so we can all see it. And then you're going to answer those discussion questions. So you're going to look at who were they targeting, how were they targeting them. So you're going to look at things like I just mentioned, sex, age, race, religious background, anything like that, if those are factors. And you're going to talk about why that ad may have been on that site, why that ad may have been put the way it was. So you're going to do that. And then you're going to also think about what if they were targeting somebody else besides the demographics that you've decided they were targeting, right? How would they change that advertisement up? So if you think they were targeting a man, how would they target a woman for the same sort of product? Or would it be a different product entirely? So think about those things, and you're going to discuss that in your discussion post. So it should be at least 300 words where you thoroughly answer those questions. And then you are going to make sure that you respond to at least 2 of your classmates. So respond in ways that ask them a question, that say I agree because or I disagree because, not just cool, thanks, good post, right? You want something that's in a further discussion. So make sure that you do those things to succeed on that assignment, right? So post a photo or a link to your advertisement, answer thoroughly those questions, who are they targeting and why, what if it changed, and then make sure to respond to your classmates. Hey, I look forward to seeing your ads.